From a standpoint of total yards gained on the ground, Cyril Pender is the best rusher so far for the Eagles. It is second down and 6. Snead to throw. Pryor gets him. Fred Pryor, number 89, shooting in from the defensive right end position, nailed him.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And just before I get started, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Anybody who's watched my videos, anybody maybe subscribed to my channel, maybe gave my videos a thumbs up, or maybe left a comment, anything at all to help my channel out. I greatly appreciate it. I'm just trying to help I'm just trying to get my channel up and running, and anything you guys do, I greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much in advance. I do tremendously appreciate it. Keep seeing all these, little articles here and there about Brandon Jacobs with trying to make a comeback. I'll tell you what, back in the day, boys, 6'4", 265-pound running back, that's scary. I'll tell you what. But he last played in 2013. The year before that, in 2012, he had a cup of coffee with the 49ers. I think he had like 5 rushes for 7 yards in 2012 with the 49ers. But he's going to be he's 38 right now. But in 1 week from today, on July 6th, he's going to be 39. He played 9 seasons in the NFL, 8 with the Giants. He played 7 seasons with the Giants. Played 2012 with the 49ers, got 5 carries, and in 2013 came back and played with the Giants. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings. Right, he's very instrumental in both our victories. Very important. And he had 2 1,000-yard seasons, 2007, 2008. All right. Now, what he started out, all right, if you can believe it, he came, when we drafted him in the 2005 draft, he was from Southern Illinois, okay? But he started his football career at Coffeyville Community College. Oh, yeah. The powerhouse, yes. Then he transferred to Auburn. He was thinking about going to LSU, but I believe he was talking with Marcus Spears, who's an All-American at LSU, and Marcus Spears told him that Nick Saban, because Nick Saban was head coach at LSU from 2000 to 2004. So Marcus Spears told Brandon Jacobs that if he went to LSU, Nick Saban was probably going to take him from being a running back and put him at a defensive end. Brandon Jacobs didn't want to do that. So Brandon Jacobs transferred from Coffeyville Community College to Auburn so he could be a running back. Saban did that with a few different guys. Corey Webster, who we drafted, 2005. He was a quarterback, but Nick Saban made him a cornerback, which is what we drafted him. I mean, Marcus Spears, all right, was an All-American. Marcus Spears was a tight end. Nick Saban said, no, you're going to be a defensive end. What happened? He became an All-American. Corey Webster was a quarterback. Nick Saban said, no, you're a cornerback. And what happened? We drafted him as a cornerback. And he got 2 Super Bowl rings with us. So, Brandon Jacobs probably would have been a defensive end if he played for LSU, but he didn't want to do that. He wanted to be a running back, so he went to Auburn. And in his last year of eligibility in 2004, he transferred to Southern Illinois, because in Auburn there was so many guys. It was him and other guys. He was just sharing the ball. And he wanted to be the main guy, obviously. So Southern Illinois, he was pretty much the main guy. I mean, he got a lot of carries. He did very well. Obviously, he caught the eye of the Giants, and we drafted him. And he was very instrumental. 2005 and 2006, right, it was him and Tiki Barber. Tiki retired after 2006. In 2007, it was Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs for the run from 2007 and until 2011 when we got those two Super Bowl. So it's kind of a little kind of like Thunder and Lightning. I kind of like the way it was Tiki Barber and Ron Dane was like back in 2000, 2001. But Brandon, he's been on a comeback trail. He said he saw Tim Tebow making a comeback and being signed as a tight end with the Jaguars, and he's like, you know what, if Tebow can do it, so can I. So Brandon Jacobs been kind of working out. I love the guy to death, and I owe him so much respect and love and all that and everything. But he's some of the stuff I'm reading, he's like, he says he thinks he can be one of the best defensive ends in the league right now. He said he's been or not him, his agent's been contacted by 3 different teams that are possibly thinking about bringing him in. He said, he was told, I think pretty much kind of like not to say which teams there were, but he did say he's been contacted by 3 teams, so we don't know if the Giants are one of them, but so he's spending June, working on his cardio to get him try himself back into football shape, and then he's spending July lifting weights, trying to bulk up. But he said, if it doesn't work out, he says he's more than willing to take it as a man. He said he is coaching high school football, and he's running a youth program too. So, those things are taking up his time, and if that's what he has to wind up doing, if this doesn't work out, well, that's fine. It's. I love the guy. We owe him a lot. The man was a beast. I loved it when they gave him the ball. One of the problems he had was he would just run with he would just try to run over everybody, and he would get hurt. He's big, but so are the other guys he's trying to run over too. He would get nicked up here and there a lot because he was just a tough runner, boy. But man, I loved it when they used to hand him off the ball. Now, he said he saw it because Tim Tebow came back, and Tim Tebow's got signed with the Jaguars. That doesn't mean Tim Tebow's going to make the team or anything like that. But, he's like, well, if Tim Tebow can do it, I can do it. And he said, I'm a better athlete than Tim Tebow. He said, I got to kind of disagree. My thoughts is I think Tim Tebow's a better athlete, than Brandon Jacobs is. Now, Brandon Jacobs has last played with the Giants in 2013. All right, so he hasn't played, the last 8 seasons. Okay, Tim Tebow was last on an active roster, right, 2012. So Brandon Jacobs has actually been on an active roster, more than Tim Tebow has. Okay, Tim Tebow has been out since 2012. However, Tim Tebow was signed by New England in the preseason in 2013. He didn't make the final roster. They cut him before the regular season started. All right. Then he took a year off, 2014. Then he came back in 2015 and he signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. And he played in the preseason, and they let him go before the regular season started. So he came back, 13, 15, but he was preseason, but he didn't actually make an active roster. Then after 2015, then he spent 5 seasons in the minor leagues with a baseball team, the Mets. So he's been out, a little bit longer, per se, than Brandon Jacobs has football, but he's been, he was with the Patriots in 2013. He was with the Eagles in 2015. He spent 5 seasons with the Mets, playing baseball. He's also, he's 33, but he'll be 34 in August. So Brandon Jacobs is going to be 39. Tim Tebow is going to be 34. So, Tim Tebow is 5 years younger. So I got to kind of give the nod to Mr. Tebow as far as being a better athlete. Mr. Tebow was also the 2007 Heisman Trophy winner. He had a very good, very, very good college football career. It doesn't mean because you're a great quarterback in college does not guarantee it's gonna transfer into the pros, and it didn't with Tim Tebow. But he had a very, very good college career, and so I got to kind of give the nod to Mr. Tebow. As far as being a better athlete. Now, I mean, Dubai's always going to work out. By neither one of these guys is going to make the actual roster, but they're giving it a try. It is what it is. Now, I'll always remember with Brandon Jacobs. Two of the things I'll always remember about him is the two playoff games we played against the Packers. 2017, the game was -1 degrees. The Packers got the ball first, but when they punted to the Giants had the ball 1st and 10 on their own 18-yard line. First play of the game for the Giants. Eli hands the ball off to Brandon Jacobs. Brandon runs about 4 yards. First guy he runs into is Charles Woodson, the Hall of Famer. He runs him over. Charles Woodson's going to hits him. He's like literally flying. If you watch it, he's in the air. He knocks him off his ground, lands on the ground. He kind of gets up, kind of like looking around, like what the heck just hit me? Man, what a way to start a game off. I think Brandon Jacobs just runs him over. Man, that got me fired up. I love watching it today, watching those highlights today. The second one was against the Packers in 2011, the game that led up to the championship game. We had the ball. We were up 30-20. We were basically just trying to run the clock out. And it was we had the ball was 2nd and goal, all right, at the 14-yard line, with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. We're trying to run the ball, run the clock out, and all. And we're down around the 14-yard line. And Eli hands the ball to Brandon Jacobs. We're up 30-20. So the ball, basically the play was to go up the middle. Brandon started running up the middle. It was kind of clogged up. So what did he do? He took a step and went around, and it was like nobody out there. He went out to the right and got the corner and got the touchdown. Put us up 37-20. Put us up by 3 scores with about 2 minutes and whatever it was, 35 seconds ago. Game was over. Put us into the NFC Championship game. I'll always remember those 2 plays. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you so much. Now, Brandon's not the first Giants running back to try to make a comeback. One of the last ones was Tiki Barber. Now, Tiki, 2006. Sadly, for him, he retired, so he never made it to the 2007 Super Bowl team. Now, I'm sure if he wanted to, I'm sure he could have played a couple more years. And, if he could have played a couple more years and got another 2,000-3,000 yards or so added to his resume, he would probably have a Super Bowl ring, and he would possibly be in the Hall of Fame. He's probably a little bit short, possibly, on the total yardage that he needs. But if he could have played another 2 or 3 seasons and got another 3, 4, 5,000 more yards, he would be in the Hall of Fame. Now, he got the ball a lot. He caught the ball a lot. He ran the ball a lot. So he was just taking a lot of wear and tear. And after 2006, he kind of, I guess, had enough. But he tried to come back in 2011. He filled out the paperwork to be reinstated. Never really amounted to anything, but he was thinking about actually coming back after him being out of the league for like 5 years. As I said, it never worked out to be anything, but he did retire, and he was trying to come back. Then the other one is Joe Morris. Joe Morris was very instrumental to the Giants in their first Super Bowl victory. Now, back in the mid-'80s, they had a very good running game, and it was all because of him, the offensive line, and because of him. Now, he was not a very tall running back. He was very slow to the ground, very stocky, powerful. He gave it his all on every play. But he got worn down a lot. I mean, Bill Parcells would give him the ball a lot. Between 1985, 1986, and 1988. 1987, he didn't play too much because that was the scab year. But in those 3 years, 85, 86, and 88, he ran the ball over 940 times. He ran the ball on average over 300 times a season. I mean, he just kind of got worn down. So after the 88 season, in 89, he wound up breaking his foot. Now, he was out for a while, and then he never seemed to latch on to the team back in 1990. So he was out of football in 89 because of the foot. 1990, the Giants he wasn't on the roster. So he made a comeback in 1991 with a one forgetful season with the Cleveland Browns. He ran the ball 93 times for 289 yards for a miserable 3.1 yards per carry. So, very, very, sad season for him. It was a sad way to end his career, shall we say. But he was very instrumental to us in our first Super Bowl victory. But he was kind of, short. And the amount of times he ran the ball, he just got worn down. But so Brandon Jacobs not the first guy, to running back for the Giants to try to make a comeback. I wish him and Tim Tebow nothing but the best, but unfortunately, especially Brandon Jacobs, they're going to be 39 years old to try to make it in this league as a defensive end. I don't see it happening. Well, guys, always thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!